And good evening, all. We are ready to go.
We're back.
We're back after a 1 week hiatus and ready to carry on the story. Welcome to our stream of Curse of Strahd. We have a new player that's joined us because Epotus has family matters, and we are happy to have him along. You'll be meeting him more tonight. Say hi, Gray.
Hello.
Welcome to the Dawnwatch team. We'll see how it all goes. It's got a halfling character. How have you guys all done for this week's hiatus?
Well, I'm playing now, so my withdrawal symptoms are going to go away soon.
That's always good.
I certainly missed the game.
Yeah, it's always good to be up. I'm going to get our pictures up here so that the videos work. As usual, they jump around when people come on and off, but we'll have it up here in a moment. But welcome to our viewers tonight on the live stream. We've got a few new people checking in this week. I've been playing on ESO and made a lot of friends over there. It's been a great team over on that side, so we've had a lot of fun. And I think some of you may be from that source, so I welcome you if you are here. And let me get these up. I'm sorry, but Discord is a...
I'm here, but I'm not here.
Like, you're on voice, but you're not at the game yet?
No, I've been loading. I'm kind of like in between running, going, okay, I've got that put down. Now I gotta go grab the food out of the bag and put it in the fridge before it goes bad. So I'll be right back 2 seconds, promise.
So you're probably going to hear some crying from the background from me this week. My child is fussy. I'm not sure if you can even hear it right now.
Oh yeah, she's in the background.
That's my little kid Beatrice. She's a little over 2 months old. And I'm sure anyone who's had a kid knows they're not particularly calm at that age. Yes, Curse of Strahd.
Just waiting for the all clear to start.
Yep, go ahead. Gray, especially when we left off last time, they had they chased the druid that had been corrupting trees, throwing them at them, and they chased her into a winery, did a battle in there, found her corrupting the wines in the wine vats, managed to do away with her and get hold of her staff. I believe Victor wound up with the thing in his possession. And
I did. However, I actually can't find the handout. Can you assign that to me when you get a sec?
I sure will in a little bit. And they found a halfling trussed up, about to be dunked in the poison wine, and we didn't have a lot of time to introduce him. So now they got him down on his feet. Everybody was pretty well exhausted, and they decided to hole up in the vat room along with some of the Mardikovs who came in. Stefania decided to take the small children and go back to Vallaki with Epotus, who is setting up a military governorship in the town. And he went back, he rode shotgun on the wagon as they set it up. He then went back there to remain as military governor, and Stefania is no longer at the winery, but the men remained at the winery and were setting up a second wagon with loading kegs onto it, rolling them down a ramp from upstairs, where one of the towers has a ramp that comes down. And the rest of you kind of hold up blocked doors and what have you, and manage to wrest overnight. Everybody just kind of collapsed after the event and managed to get a night's sleep, but it was not a restful night's sleep. There was a great deal of noise coming from outside, like scratching and things attempting to dig into the winery. It was a very nervous night, all in all, and you found roots trying to penetrate its way in through sections of wood and things, and you had to beat them back as the night went on. But eventually, with time, you managed to get a full night's sleep, so you're fully rested, and you wake up, and I will have Monarch, which he is given his only name as, who is a halfling dressed in very fancy clothes. I will have him do a little bit more introducing of himself than he got last week. So Monarch, what do you do as you wake up?
Monarch will be asleep quite. Literally just sun's down, head back, just close his eyes. As the sun comes up, suddenly bolt upright on his feet very nimbly, just quickly just tucks out his various things, tucks out his ruff, adjusts his ruff. Well, company, it appears the sun is upon us and we can continue our day. Up, I shall start breakfast. And he'll
Too late. It's as you wake up, Vlad has already been awake and has already started breakfast as per their usual morning routine.
I already don't like him, but he offers food.
It's
There are
early
no
riser.
noise.
There were a lot of people
Oh.
just
Yeah,
talking
everyone
at the
just
same
started.
time. Okay, who wants to go first? Go,
Garak
go.
ignores everyone and just stays asleep. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Victor, were you gonna say something?
Oh, just that Victor. Sorry, Victor came in from outside around this time, and I wanted to ask Ruth. He went hunting last night. Was he able to find some livestock or something?
A squirrel.
He was not able to find any domesticated animals in the immediate area. He would have had to have gone pretty far for that. Give me a survival roll to see how your hunting went.
Okay.
Roll natural 20, I go missing.
A few things like that have happened already, but that's been behind the scenes. Yes, you are able to find a deer.
All right, cool. Somebody might find a dry and withered up deer in a couple days.
Not a problem anymore. We're moving on.
I mean, so it's perfectly normal for this area, right?
I'm out.
Yeah, sure. There's nothing out of the ordinary here. There are vampires everywhere.
Yeah, it's Milwaukee.
Jerky is naturally occurring in this country.
Business as usual. Business as usual.
Sorry, I'm checking the Twitch. Okay. As Monarch leaps up and is overly cheerful in the morning, Vlad will turn and look at him as he's stirring his stew pot and say, "Calm yourself, halfling. I've already begun breakfast. You have
Marvelous.
slept.
I shall assist
You
you.
have-
I shall assist you if I can.
It's. Thank you for the offer, but it is not necessary. You have slept with us for a night, so you are obviously not outright harmful. However, I still don't know
Sorry,
if
excuse
we
me.
should trust you. What are your plans from now on?
Well, the question. Frankly, the land has been openly hostile, and furthermore, my stance here is unique. I cannot possibly go forward alone, not here. However, I have no equal reservations about yourselves. You are a strange bunch. I think, though, perhaps you are revolutionaries from the way you act. Though perhaps we should take things a little more civilized. You asked me a question. last time we spoke openly. Something in regards to why I was part of that little ritual she was so inclined to make me a part of.
Yes, you avoided my question and then we fell asleep. I'm still curious about these.
Hmm. If I was to make an educated guess on the matter, it would have something to do with my abundant life essence. What do you know of essence?
Ah, it's a good question, GM. I'm a cleric.
It's a matter of what you studied. You're a life cleric, so I would think that you would certainly have some kind of study with how life forces work. So I would think you would be reasonably informed.
I know more than the common man about forces of life and death, physical anatomy, the like.
Precisely. Then perhaps I shall abbreviate it for the sake of time. It goes by many names: chi, ki, spiritual energies. What matters is that it all resides within all living things. It resonates deeply within all plants and animals, and its very energy itself is gifted to us by the sun. It is the very same energy that emanates from it. It is one of the Dawn Lord's many blessings, but perhaps one of the more subtle. Few can tap into the inner strength it takes to make such amplifications of it, but it requires much dedication, something I have never lacked. As he adjusts his sleeves and like a ruff.
Sylvia is pretty much going to be leaning against the sleeping Duroc and sit there and go, "Oh dear sweet gods, it's one of those fancy talking that thing."
Then you provide worship to the thunder.
Perhaps not directly, but through the use of very much his energies, I am able to do what I am able to do. I have strengthened my body and spirit through the emanation of these energies, and so revere him by approximation, you might say.
He gestures with his head to his shield that is laying nearby, where the hand of Lathander is let me try that sentence over again. He gestures with his head to his shield, where the emblem of Lathander is pressed into the metal itself, so it's not even be possible to be removed.
Mm.
I'm a priest of Lathander, as this is how I know. If you worship Lathander, you cannot be all bad. If you seek to oppose the devil, it's my
Best
comrade
that
in
you have
arms has
allies.
just recently left us. It's if you would be willing, I don't see why you could not join us on the probationary period, of course.
Ground rules for the new thing because it talks a lot, it's a lot fancy, and it's going to upset people. Primarily the thing I'm sitting on.
Much fancier style.
So
It's
okay,
very eloquent.
so for the Jolly Green Giant right here, and she pats on Duroc while he's asleep. You have to simplify it, and by simplify it I mean very simplify it. Don't be fancy words. Fancy words will get you nowhere and probably punched in the head. Just saying.
He is a
Yeah,
very
I got some
simple.
respect for the guy, but be careful. He prefers monosyllabic type stuff.
Hey, he's not
is-
that dumb, but still.
He is an
Prefers.
Guys, you're lucky Darok's sleeping right now.
he is an effective warrior. As the soup is finishing, Vlad will pull out some spices from his pack, sprinkle some in, give it one last stir, and start handing up bowls of this stew. It's mostly potatoes and some of the roots that were growing in from that were trying to get in under the doors and such that were
Are
chopped
you
up and
seriously
cooked
making
so
us
as
eat
to.
evil roots?
I'm not
Yours.
making. I'm not making you
No.
know. I'm not
Bad
making.
idea.
I'm not making you know. However, I have cooked them and purified them, so they're fine. I have purified these so as to not cause harm.
Uh-huh.
Despite his attempts at more refined nature, he's a hobbit, so he's probably about halfway through the bowl before he realizes what he said. Just
I see that you enjoy my cooking. You are not the first, nor will you be the last. In any case, we are wasting daylight. As soon as you all are ready, we should head out for this. What was
We
it called?
haven't-
Hornhill?
You had
Victor does not partake of the stew.
you have
I
a
didn't.
a couple of matters. You have not yet completely cleared the winery, which is why there's a lot of corruption going around in it. And the Mardikovs talked about the fact that the trouble seems to be coming up from the south, and they suspect that the edifice, the henge, if you will, that is at Yester Hill probably is the source of some of the problems. They also, as they are doing the wines, they start muttering to each other over by the loading dock, and you hear them talk about, we've lost the last gem. It's gone. It was not in the field. What are we going to do?
I'm back.
They are mentioning something about gems.
Sorry about that. My computer did that static thing.
That's okay. You'll be back up picture-wise in a moment.
So okay, so this place is still giving me the heebie-jeebies. Sounds like there's something going on over there with those guys. Apparently something shiny went missing. And then she kind of gives this like long look over towards the new guy. Yeah, didn't happen to pick up something shiny before you walked into this death trap, did you?
Not to my knowledge, everything that was upon me was taken from me upon my thing. I've lost all my items, unfortunately.
Vlad will pull out his mace and offer it hilt first to the halfling. Say, if you fight to be said this, I would not have you go unequipped.
I am quite capable of defending myself as is, though your offer is most appreciated. He will like simply put his hand up.
This fancy talk.
Pulls back the mace and says, "Suit yourself."
She's just gonna look over at Vlad and go, "Hey, it talks
Yes.
fancy, but it prefers to hit things with a fist." And she just waggles an eyebrow in just kind of like trying to give a little bit more of a gesture as to like what she's figured out about our new friend.
Oh, I mean, how observant are you? I mean, as a character.
Monarch
or as a skill
casts fist.
Because if you're more observant visually, you'll definitely notice his oversized feet and hands are both very wiry and scuffs, very hard skin around the knuckles and around the feet as well. Very much the result of repeated use and training.
Vlad will have noticed this. It wouldn't know what it's for. He hasn't had much interaction with monks per se, but he will have noticed the calluses on your hands and feet.
Sylvia's just taking good guesses at this point. She's just like, doesn't really have a weapon, doesn't really travel much, seems to be on the good side, talks about inner spiritual energy. Oh god, I've met one of these. God, go away.
Alex has not. He just thinks I'm a pomp that's not willing to actually fight.
Like most of my other characters.
Gets whooped.
He's not gonna he's not gonna fight him directly. He just thinks he's gonna tag along and, occasionally lead to some amusing moments.
Just sit on someone's shoulder, walk me forward.
From the Mardikovs.
You are size small.
Yes.
From the Mardikovs, you also hear mumbling in the background. Well, what are we going to do? We'll just advertise the good wine as the cheap stuff. I don't know what else to do. If we don't get the gem, I don't know how we're going to make the fine grape.
Okay,
Outside, are they gonna ask us, or are we gonna wait for?
We're gonna help. Hey! We have a.
Do you people see a question mark over that person's head?
That's like that WoW cartoon where the girl says, "Why do you have that question mark over your head? What question mark? Look up!"
I see the question mark, but why is it silver?
Gentlemen,
this
I require then those two might need your assistance further. I do feel somewhat obliged, as much as I was tossed up in their winery. It is not their fault they were attacked. Perhaps we should offer them some sort of aid.
Look, here's the deal. If we don't get the wine continuing to flow at a normal, reasonable rate, you're gonna have an entire village willing to skin your butts alive. I promised those people that you would bring them wine. Let us deliver on this. Otherwise, my campaign is not going very well.
I'm with the
Also, I mean,
And I
for
won't-
wine's sake,
I won't
we
complete my
will-
quest.
I'm with the elf on this matter. Simply ensuring the moving of the actual gears of the town itself is a matter of the meant to be
Oh
the
no,
matter
we
of
own,
those
we
moving,
own the
but
town. We promised them wine in exchange for them now belonging to us. So you know that kind of whole thing.
assuming it was meant to be Strahd's thing, he will have a perk up saying you run the town and be like, well then, it is your responsibility and we must do it. There's no question of it.
Well, it's more
Besides
like
that,
we
the-
took care of all the people who were working for Strahd type deal. Well, most of them probably. There's probably a few hidden people.
The 30-second version is that there was a revolt for the people who were working for the devil,
Which-
he says,
which we
looking
started,
at Sylvia,
Which we started.
which we may or may not have had a hand in starting on.
Oh no, we
accident.
totally started it.
No, we didn't.
We totally started it.
No, we didn't.
Well, I mean,
The water woman had her sons let that tiger go. That tiger is what started it. In any case,
We
And then
did
we
not
just,
talk
like-
to it.
The actual report you got out of the one Vakhther son that you were able to question before you killed him was that they released the tiger on a dare, but you never found out any more about that.
Yeah, so it wasn't the mom that told them to do it. They were just being dipshits.
and then the mom
Pardon
took
the French.
advantage of it.
Oh yeah, mom just took advantage of it because mom's an opportunist.
Yep. In any case, we put down a revolt that occurred in Valaki. The Baron, who was making things worse with constant festivals, was oppressing the people. The most efficient solution was to liberate the town in the name of the Dawnwatch. One of my compatriots is there now, making sure that everything is going smoothly.
It appears simple acts of the responsibility of rulership is lost upon many in this land, something that must be amended.
If things go well, the leadership will change regardless. In any case,
Point
in-
being, it's ours. It's now ours, and we promised them wine because their shipment has been behind. So
besides our promise, I would not have the hags spreading their meat pies in Valaki.
did they even reach Velaki? God, oh man. Oh, all right,
Bone
you know what?
Grinder is not far from Valaki. The only reason they did not gain a foothold before now is because of the wine.
Okay.
The wine is
So-
cheaper than those pies.
Okay, so happy wine over happy pie. Let's stick with the wine.
The wine, agreed. Vlad walks over to the Markovs. Clank, clank, clank. They hear him approaching. Dude,
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching,
will someone
ka-ching.
wake Dirak up? As he's walking over to the Markovs, Vlad will look over his shoulder and say, "Will someone wake? Never mind, I've got these."
I got it.
He
No,
casts
I'm still sitting
thaumaturgy,
on
and
him.
a clap of thunder sounds right next to his ear.
Asshole!
Does not wake him.
Does Vlad have create water yet?
I do.
You could always create water and have it splash right on top of it.
Very first spell that I took.
I'm going to kill you after this.
I
Just so
like
you
to-
know,
I
you,
like
you
to
keep a
speak
distance
I'm
from Sylvia.
the only
Does,
person that can take the punch.
Does Dirak wake up?
What is it? A wisdom save? I want to
No,
do a
it's
save.
just a loud, a really, really loud clap of thunder right next to your ear.
He's asking how
Oh, right
how
next to my
dense a sleeper you are.
Pretty dense. I actually am pretty dense, IRL.
What a lovely
No,
Okay.
I get
Vlad's-
I get thunderstorms in where I live in the summertime all the time. I do
Vlad
not wake up
spits.
from them.
Oh, so you mean if there's something on fire and the alarm's going off, the two of us are probably dead because we both would sleep through that shit, right?
Vlad spits. Vlad spits and Dirak take a shower.
Okay, that will wake me up. Whoa, whoa,
I'm just going
why
to.
is Duroc wet?
I'm gonna pat Dirok on the arm and point at Vlad. Get him. And she's sitting there's probably still wet from as well because she was sitting on Dirok when it happened. You jerk!
You should have gotten off. I actually
You
didn't
didn't
know
give
you
her
were
a
sitting.
chance.
I actually didn't know you were sitting on him.
No, I had.
It's all right. She's wet now. He just decided he was going to do what he needed.
Continue to piss off the bard. God damn it.
Apologies. I was unaware.
Let's do a. How do I do it? I forget it. /R.
Are you trying to whisper someone?
A roll. /roll.
/roll.
1d2.
XDX.
And it's taking forever for it to roll. Okay, I don't follow through.
You don't
What it-
follow through trying to hit me?
I don't try to hit you. I just
Okay.
look at Sylvia and like, just go roll back over.
But you're
Okay.
you're more or less awake, right?
Yeah, I'm more or less awake. This is my wake up process.
Do the Mardikovs turn to acknowledge me as I'm walking up? With this clap of thunder and sun. rushing
Yes,
water
they
inside
they
the
would
house.
immediately stop their conversation. The older Mardukov would kind of put his hand up, like let's continue this later. Not in a way like he's trying to keep secrets from you, but just like, well, this is our problem. Okay, let's just wait for it to. We'll handle it. And he turns to you. Yes. How did you rest?
We heard them talking about the gem, right?
Yes.
We heard them say that this gem is necessary to make the good wine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd
we
like
heard
to make a
implications.
small interjection before he gets through that door. How many people are in front of between Sylvia and Vlad right now? Like,
I'd say
None.
at least two. I'd say
Alex
at
is
least
sitting
the
on the
Monarch
edge.
and Alex.
Alex is kind of just sitting towards the wall, trying to avoid this nonsense.
Then
He's
probably
decided to
only
just
the
let
Monarch.
the chaos happen in front of him for once. Not be the one to cause
Sylvia's
it.
going to motion for the Monarch to move, and as soon as she does, she's just going to hit Vlad with Thunderwave.
Wow, aggro.
Okay. Is that a what is that for save? Con
Constitution.
I was about to say, if you run through me, you don't have to ask. I think you can just pass through my square because I'm tiny. You don't
So it's the
have to
cone that hits in front, but still.
True.
You also destroy part of this guy's like all the wood that's I'm standing on splinters in the force of this, right?
Well, you started by hitting Thaumaturgy right next to her while trying to wake up Dura and then getting her drenched. I think she's a little bit pissed.
You do deserve it.
So that's what, 2 damage? Half damage
Yeah.
not pushed? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with
So
that.
freaking loud.
Oh yeah. Everyone would probably be waking up from
His
that one.
Vlad's cloak flaps about him wildly as Sylvia casts Thunderwave centered on him. I hope I was more than 10 feet away from the Mardikovs at this point, otherwise they're gonna have a real bad day.
Well, I'm assuming the wall blocks because it's like that in doorway.
In any case, he bends over slightly at the force of this, and then straightens up and continues back with what he was doing.
Seems reasonable.
As for your probably to the Markov's bewildered faces as to why the party is attacking each other, just continues on without. As to your question, we slept. I'm not going to lie. It was not well that we slept.
You heard all the scratching? Yes. This is what we have been experiencing for weeks before they set the entire forest upon us.
Me
It-
and my companions heard you talking of a gem necessary to make the and he does air quotations, good wine.
Ah, yes. We had an ancient gem which we have had in the family for as long as we can remember, and it was buried in the fields, and it was from this gem that the life force was drawn to make the finest wine in all of Barovia. We were renowned for this wine, but without it, all we can make is the poor quality wine. We will not be able to make the good wine that everyone counts on.
Knew that one.
We. Oh, yeah. That'll probably get his attention. Vlad gestures to the rest of his group, says, "We have effectively taken control of Valaki to end a revolt. We would not have the hags at Bongrander start selling their dream pies there.
There
What,
are.
do you know where this gem is?"
I have no idea. All I can, while we were gone, I am assuming these corrupted women have dug it up or had their plants dig it up. It is gone.
Then the most likely
I'm
is
thinking we
is this
probably have to
winery
find these
clear?
crazy ladies.
Is this winery clear, or is there stuff all over the place still?
You
We'll have to
have
clear it.
all you know is the vat area where you are. You have not seen anything but these roots try to get in. But there's an awful lot of scraping and scratching, seemingly coming from below you.
Is it possible it could just be in your cellar? There's an awful lot of noise coming from down there.
We have not gone down there yet. It is where we keep our wine cool for storage, but we are just trying to get the wine into the kegs to get them off to the various villages. Kresk as well is in need of wine, and we will have to take some to them.
We may be able to help with that, but later. For now, we. Are you able to clear out your cellar on your own?
We, like you, have not explored. We will not do so if you do not go down there. We will seal it off if we must, because the roots were coming up from below, and so we may have to avoid going down there.
Then it seems we must clear your cellar before we leave. After this, though, we will make our way to... what hill was it? Winter Splinter Hill?
Yester.
Yester Hill. After this, we will make our way to Yester Hill and see what we can do about this winter splinter.
Don't knock mythology.
God, mythology with stupid names.
Hey,
I mean, literally had generations to come up with a better name. Generations.
technically, a lot of people can find your name stupid too, Alex.
I will
I
ask.
know it's got a weird spelling, but at least it's a normal freaking name. Sorry,
As this...
I actually did have a question. And this is both in character and out of character. How flammable is your wine? I know not all alcohols are really flammable, and wine can vary drastically in the amount of alcohol it has in it.
It most certainly, if it is splattered on something, it would definitely increase the flammability. That is certain.
I was going to ask for...
Just burn the stuff technique here.
I was going to ask for a skin of wine to aid in our travels, as we are clearing your basement and possibly going to find your gem afterwards.
That would be good. I would ask you not to burn anything in the cellar if you can avoid it. It is meant to remain cold, and the wines that are stored down there must not be raised in temperature, or it could ruin them.
Yeah, I was thinking more of kind of a controlled burn of some of the things that are the edges. Have you ever burned a stump? Back in the farmland, when we had to kill a tree, we would take a stump and dig a small hole in it and light that part on fire, and it would burn the roots backward into the ground. It didn't really cause as much heat as you'd think. But yes, I just wanted to know if it was an option. Around particularly flammable wines, probably not.
We also have barrels of oils as well, and flasks of oils. That may be better for pouring on things. It burns longer.
I was thinking, is it safe to do so? I don't really want to light a fire down there unless it... I respect wine almost as much as you do. Maybe more.
The oil we will take for burning, if you would be willing to spare us some. The wine, I was hoping to have another use for.
He motions.
Drinking.
He motions very quickly towards one of his sons, and the oil. Go get them 2 flasks of oil. And pretty soon, Elvire comes back with 2 skin botella type things that slush in a way that you can tell there's a thicker liquid inside.
This is greatly appreciated.
Quick service too.
We will be back, and then we will let you know how it goes, what has happened in the cellar. Or, if you want to, you can follow us down. The choice is yours. With that, Vlad turns on his heel and begins making his way. Before he turns, he asks which way to go to the cellar.
Either of the stairwells will take you down. One of them is a ramp, and he points down to the one on this picture that is on the lower right. That is a ramp. We roll the barrels up and down there to the cooling area. The other is a stairwell, but all of them will take you all the way up to the bedrooms or all the way down to the cellar.
Vlad nods and then turns on his heel and goes back into the main room to inform everyone of what has happened. Either stairwell, either one will take us down.
All right, let's go.
Vlad turns to the halfling, says, "By the way, I don't believe I've caught your name yet."
I found the monarch to be most suitable, but I suppose for my life I do owe you my full name. My natural title is Rumbelow Tumblety.
Tumble.
I like it.
What did you just say?
One was
Rumbelow
likely to tumble over
Tumblety.
their tongue. One was likely to tumble over their tongue, attempting
Got
that
it.
feeling
So
in a
Rummy it
feat
is.
of oral
Let's move
acrobatics.
Rummy. Rummy is a good name, actually.
I shall call you Philippe.
And from
Durok
the,
does not understand. He'll just call you Tumble.
Or just call him Rummy. Either way works.
I'll answer to either.
I've gotta ask. Are you a fan of rum? Because that would just make things hilarious.
No, actually, my my parents were actually rather fond of beekeeping.
Hmm.
Oh my god, that makes it even better.
I played a in one of Apple's campaigns. I played a elf monk whose name was Kylo Ren, but it was great because he was a long death monk, and Kylo Ren are actually 2 elf names, like found in the
Oh,
PhD.
fun.
I would not be amazed if that was actually how they came up with the character.
Yeah, first time he walked in, they were like, "Tell me you didn't name him Kylo Ren."
It wasn't intentional either. It was completely accidental. I knew I remembered the name from somewhere, but I didn't remember where it was from. So I just was like, "Why not?" And then I remembered, "Oh yeah, Star Wars."
Good job.
There is no copyright on this, right?
No, never.
Anyway,
Quick, break all the fourth walls.
4th wall, the 5th wall, the 17th wall. What else?
The whole keep.
Vlad will motion to. I guess we'll use a he'll motion to the ramp.
For my benefit, so that I hopefully don't ask this 30 times a night, what will your standard marching order be with the new setup?
I think Durok, and if is it going to be a 2x2? Like
Down the ramp, it should probably be 1 by 1, but give me a 1 by 1 for now. I'll be able to shift them up if it happens to be a 2 by 2 situation.
Victor generally covers the rear by Sylvia.
I would
I
probably
I
say
try to generally be like not in front, but like towards the middle-ish.
I'm most concerned with who is leading and where Alex is.
I would
my.
think that Durok is leading and that Alex is immediately behind him.
Okay.
That's typically how it's been,
Okay.
Although I'm not sure where we wanted to juggle things.
Summon the Hounds of War!
Oh, Straw's here.
Barking now. I need to go deal with this. I'm gonna be right back super quick.
I'll stick to the middle.
Okay, I've got a general idea that
He heard the threat and he stopped. Okay, that works.
so basically Alex now, rather than bringing up the rear like he used to, he'll be up closer to the front.
Yes, we lost our other. We lost a paladin, so in a 1-by-1, your 10-foot reach would be better.
That's kind of what I was hoping to be able to use, that 10-foot reach.
All right, unless you tell me otherwise in a scene, I will assume that it's Alex and then Dirok and then Vlad and then...
No, Dirok.
Dirok, then Alex.
Okay, Dirok, then Alex, then Vlad, then Monarch,
Yep.
then Sylvia, then Victor. Right? Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Also, I like that we wasted 2 first level spells and we haven't even gotten into combat yet.
I've only wasted one.
He
Thank
was
you
in
very
character.
much.
Between us, we've wasted 2.
Fair
I
enough.
used 1 for create water.
What can happen? What can happen out at a big hill with a henge on top? Hey,
I usually. I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
I'm just gonna look at
nothing can happen at a coffin shop.
I'm
at
not
some
gonna
point,
finish
I'm
that sentence.
probably gonna need some crossbows. This not having anything to attack from a distance is getting kind of.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Feeling all too well.
I enjoyed that night when you said, no, we don't need to rest up before we go there.
To the
which,
coffin shop.
which night was that?
The coffin shop.
I'm sure nothing will be awry at the coffin shop in Barovia.
Yeah, why would a coffin shop have any problems in Barovia? Heaven forbid.
Single coffin in there was filled with.
Vampires.
How many were there? There were like 8 vampires spawn, weren't there?
I think there were 6, but that's close enough.
We have trouble dealing with 1. So it's not fair I can cast daylight now. So
Yeah.
Uh, set everything on fire and you're fine.
we don't have that option anymore.
Yeah, we do.
Which
I
is
don't
a
think-
good option.
Our flamethrower left.
I
Got torches.
I can start a fire.
Yeah, I can start a fire as well. It's just not. I'm just not a flamethrower. In any
I
case,
should be getting
let's just
fire skills
continue.
eventually. You know what? We'll just load up on fire potions at some point.
Like we'll ever have money in this game.
I mean,
Hey,
I am.
never say
I
never.
am quickly becoming an alchemist.
See?
No,
Good.
I've got the skills for it too, but I'm just never gonna have enough money to buy an alchemist kit at 10 times the normal price.
I mean, it's.
Because-
I
don't have
have
enough.
an alchemist kit.
So let's continue on with the actual game, shall we? So we're planning to head downstairs, find out
Yes.
what's been bugging us all dang night.
Uh-huh.
We've given up on
Excuse
sleep,
me.
and now we're gonna go murder something.
Murder hobos.
Yep. Damn straight murder hobos.
Didn't even
Okay.
realize your response. Oh, I thought you guys were playing a video game.
I'm, let me put you guys kind of as you come out. Which stairwell did you decide to use?
Vlad wanted to use the ramp. I think Durox started going towards the stairwell, so Vlad would have followed him because he's our meat shield.
Okay,
Yeah,
so,
I just went to the one that was being clicked on.
I just like the logic of it, to be honest. That's a ramp. This is stairs, so take stair.
yeah, I want to just kind of generally put you in where you would be. That guy doesn't belong there. I don't know why he's there. And you come down into a storage area where obviously bottles of wine have been stored. As you enter into this zone, the temperature drops drastically. It is immediately like 20 degrees cooler than it is on the floor above.
Vlad gives a shiver and adjusts his cloak so that it turns more. Or he adjusts his cloak so that it turns more into a type of like jacket than just billowing out
Pops
around
his
his
collar,
shoulders.
got it.
Yeah, kind of. It's the brooch that fastens it is able to expand out so it actually like can cover his shoulders. It's functionality is the Dawnwatch's main priority, as well as completing the contracts.
Well, yeah, that's functionality.
That is functionality. There you go.
The tokens of the Mardikovs are from the upper layer, so ignore that.
No,
They're not.
They're just in the wall.
Yeah, they're just floating there. They're really ghosts, now you know.
Ghost. I actually just watched that episode of Critical Role where they faced Percy's shadow demon thing.
Oh god.
I just watched that today.
So you come in and you can see shattered bottles on the floor in the area where you are. The squares on that map are posts that support the floor for the upper level, or the obviously the ceiling for where you are. And you can hear scratching sounds coming from around the corner from where that wall kind of sticks out with a passageway between.
It's like right here.
You can hear scratching sounds coming from that direction, yes. And there's also the sound of like creaking wood.
Okay, Vlad has cast both light and guidance on Dirok.
I'm sorry, I missed everything because everyone went to robot.
Okay,
no.
so we went downstairs, everyone else is still upstairs, and the plants are scratching from down here somewhere.
Okay. And you casted
I
So-
have cast
light on
guidance
me.
and light. You can use guidance for, it's a d4 you can add to one ability check that you make.
Yep. You can put the light on my shield like you did
Sure.
Epotus. Yeah, I'll be wielding a one-hander and the shield from now on. Alright, I am
Don't forget to adjust your armor class because of it.
yes, thank you for reminding.
You're welcome.
Alright. So then yeah, I am slowly moving forward. Kinda looking around, making sure there's nothing over in these areas.
You don't see anything where you're standing now or anything behind those shelves that you are there. The area where you came down seems to be empty, but you can see scraping marks on the walls and even holes that have been poked through into the earthen part, as if roots had penetrated the earth and had been pulled back out again.
Vlad will begin to cast mending over these holes to repair them.
Victor will just be prowling around, kind of observing his surroundings here.
Very good.
Would it be perception roll to check if something's in the area, or?
Not at this time. There's nothing that you can see in this room. The room, you can walk all the way around these shelves, and it seems to be fairly empty at this juncture. Dirok, give me a perception roll, please.
Already.
You can add the d4 to it.
Perception. Not go. Not going.
But,
Why do you not go?
by the way, I
Can
think
you guys hear
something-
me?
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
you-
broken up, but you're apparently lagging, but you are still connected. There it went.
Okay, there you go.
There, it finally
Testing.
went. Yep,
We can hear you.
Okay.
Hey, he lives.
yep. Apparently
the
it's
first roll
connected.
wasn't going, so
Right.
I rolled twice because the first roll wasn't going. So obviously go with the first roll.
Yes. As Dirok passes that section of the wall, he's moving tightly against the wall to make sure he's not spotted if there's anything in the next room. And the wall right beside him, as he leans against it, is absolutely icebox cold. And as he turns suddenly and looks at the wall to see what's going on where it's so cold, he actually sees like a rime frost on that area, and he realizes there is a, not completely hidden, not like it's a secret door, but the rime frost has disguised a door that opens inward into that area.
Well, as a dungeon crawl, folks, Vlad
So-
is still in this first room patching up holes.
You said it was on my left, so right here.
No, it's right at the end of that long hall-looking thing. Right.
Oh, so I see this door.
No,
Yeah.
you've discovered a door here.
This door.
Oh,
Oh,
right where you
right
were.
next to me. Oh, okay.
Oh, there?
I
Hmm.
I like everyone's just pointing out. Wait, here or here? Here?
One
Wait,
person,
no,
one
there.
person.
All right. Derek looks at the door and he's gonna, I guess, cautiously try to push on it.
The door
For a
swings
second,
open.
try to pull.
The door, no, it just kind of pushes open, and it's very cold on your hand, and it pushes against the wall. Ice kind of falls around you as it does, and pieces of ice drop on the floor. And as you push it open, the walls inside that passageway there, that narrow passageway up this way, are coated with ice. And the ice gets very thick towards the back, and you also notice as you get back to this area, you can see it on the map, there's like a brown spongy material growing on the walls inside that area, and it leads back into some kind of open cavern towards the back.
Hooray for
Is
fun
it-
guy.
Is it something natural that I would be able to do a nature roll on, or?
Yes, give me a nature roll on that. That would be exactly what you would need.
It looks like a sponge.
Yeah, it looks like a brown
It looks
sponge.
like the
It's a brown sponge that instead of liquid water has like icy water on it.
I motion for anyone that can see me. I'm not saying anything, and I'm gonna start slowly going in.
Vlad, if you don't say anything, Vlad can't see you. He's still in there patching holes in the wall.
Victor.
Well, Victor's next to me.
Yeah,
He
Victor
can
kind
go.
of beckons everybody over. Like, Duroc found something. Come.
When
Lovely.
when Dirok steps into the hall, the temperature goes below freezing, and you are immediately feeling very, very cold.
Remember if I have any winter wear. I
You
would've
have a
brought one, but I
Dawnwatch cloak, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, I'm all kinds of Mr. When I play D&D, I come from 3rd edition where there's a splat book for every conceivable item in existence,
Oh,
and
no,
I
yeah.
look through all of them and buy every conceivable item in existence. So not only would I have winter wear specifically, but I'd have like a beekeeping cloak.
I mean, how realistically would cold weather affect us if we play true?
Quite,
'Cause
quite
I live up in the
realistically.
north. I was gonna say because I live up in the north, and even negative 20 degrees is shorts weather for me.
God.
I live in England,
See,
so I'm
I
basically
would-
aquatic.
Then I would consider you to have resistance against cold, yes.
I'm not saying that like I'm resistant or anything, but like you say it's dropping below freezing and whatnot, but below freezing for me is still
How
not
cold is you?
freezing enough for me.
My Nicholas on tip and hot, yes.
You would not at this point feel any discomfort from it, but you can definitely tell that what is inside that cave is extremely cold.
Is this it has no right to be this cold.
Well,
Right.
this is a cooling cellar. Is this normal to be this cold in this area?
You would
Well,
have to
cool
ask
cellar
the
for the
Mardikovs.
ground.
Perhaps this is how they keep the rest of the area cold, by whatever is in that place. If
Right.
it is intentional.
Derek's gonna keep moving forward.
I need Dirok to give me a DC 12 con save with advantage. So give me 2 rolls.
A DC con stay, so saving throw, right?
Yeah, Constitution saving throw, and I need it. You can, yeah, you've got it. So it just feels like kind of spring weather to you, but it is really, really, even though you aren't hurt by it, you can tell that would be abnormally cold for anybody that wasn't used to this kind of temperatures.
Now that I
I-
can see these sponges, am I able to tell if they're natural or not?
Survival roll or nature roll.
Oh. I'm not
Yeah,
good at
gotta
nature.
Yeah.
You
Okay,
haven't.
well.
You're a little bit too cityfied. I've been in the cities a little too long studying as an acolyte, and you haven't encountered this before. It's very odd-looking substance that's on the walls.
If it
I've
gets
never
too
seen
much,
anything quite like this.
if it gets too much in there, come out. I will turn into a snow bear.
Yeah.
Vlad walks in behind him, keeping his cloak around him to keep warm.
Alex is going to put a hand on his shoulder. I'm going in behind him.
Vlad
I-
goes in behind Alex.
Yes, there's a marching order here for a reason.
I mean, I asked you if you were going in behind him, and you never answered me.
Yeah, because everyone's hey, am I going? Are you gonna go in behind him? Someone else talked. I'm trying not to talk over people.
Cold in here. You sure you want to come in?
I
I'll
got
just
plenty
be-
cold to the farm long ago. Don't worry about me.
I'll just be behind.
What
everyone.
is Alex wearing?
His
Oh baby.
1 second. Oh, baby. 1 second.
Slap, slap.
Wow, 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 wow.
Shame on you. Get out. Go to the corner.
Like that ad. Khaki slacks.
Yes. Clearly he is. Alex is a soldier. He's wearing probably some sort of quilted undergarment of sorts, then his chain, then probably some sort of overcoat and whatnot. He'd probably have some trouble in the heat, like. But this is he knows he's going downstairs. This is normal soldier wear. He's not cold.
He
All right.
says that he has his dog or his
Yeah.
dog.
So he,
Are you within? Dirok is definitely within the area of this spongy stuff. Is Alex within 5 feet of it?
he's taking a couple steps behind Dirok. That's all.
But
He put
how?
himself a couple steps behind.
But yeah,
So
I would.
he's
I think I would
right
stop
on top.
here.
Dirok is right on top of it.
Then he's about 5 feet.
Then give me a DC 12 con save, and since you're warmly dressed, I will also allow you advantage. Yep, your hands get really cold. The metal gauntlets wouldn't protect you a whole lot, and you notice your fingers starting to get numb, but you aren't overtly hurt by it, and you are able to move with Dirok into the cave.
Specifically state, I need better gloves.
Vlad goes in next.
And he's probably further back than 5 feet, so he just is cold and wraps up a bit, but what kind of extra layers does he have?
When you need it. It's the same. How warm would it have been in Daggerford before we left? Before we got kidnapped?
Fall weather. It was a fall festival that was going on, so it would be kind of cool nights and medium days.
He would have had warm clothes, like not. It would have been fall clothes. However, like I said before, he still does have that, the Dawnwatch cloak on, which is able to be transformed into something to wear for cold weather.
Very good. So you would be protected as well. Anybody else going in, and is Duroc going in any further?
Yeah, he'll go in further. Probably about right here to take a look at what's in front of him.
The whole cave is just lined with thick, like 3 inches of ice, and there are roots growing through the walls from your right, and they are frozen. Roots came through they came through both from the natural earth walls ahead of you and from the more fabricated wall that looks man-made that's to your right. Roots have penetrated through there and frozen.
Could I do a roll to see if it's freezing in here because of the roots and the corruption and whatnot, or is that something I can't do?
Give me another nature check on this one.
Yep. Nope. I know I'm in the cave.
It could have been caused by anything, although you definitely notice that even in places where there are not roots, there's also ice. The ice doesn't seem to be limited only to the place where the roots are, but the roots are definitely frozen, like they tried to get through and didn't make it. They froze.
So when we walked down here, we could still hear the scratching. Can we still hear the scratching right now?
You can hear it from your right.
From where the frozen roots are?
You hear them from like the room next to you on the right, not from ahead of you towards where Dirac is.
I do have
Okay.
a quick question. Is this something I see, or is that just because of a map?
The chimney is from the roof.
Okay, it's just it's overlay from the map. Okay. So then there isn't anything I see in here outside of ice and whatnot.
Correct. The outside of these frozen roots, which don't look like on the left, you don't see any roots. It's only on the right that you see roots.
Vlad will poke this sponge that's going on the wall. He will poke it with the head of his mace.
It screams.
It screams and then it grabs the first person, which is me.
Roll initiative.
The brown spongy substance immediately expands like a balloon out and wraps itself around Alex and Dirac. Both Alex and Dirac have to both give me another con save, but again with advantage.
Oh, great.
I don't understand how I poked it and you guys got trapped.
Because we're further ahead. We're actually inside the brown. You're not.
I mean, I was close enough to actually touch it.
But you're not inside. Right where Alex is where it ends.
The cold seems to... Alex realizes that the stuff is expanding on him, manages to pull out of its grasp just as it closes on Dirac. Dirac, you take 22 intense cold damage. It's like shards of ice penetrate your skin. This thing is attacking you with cold shards.
I howl and I'm trying to break away. I'm yelling at everyone to get out so that I can get out.
Can Alex get past Vlad? Like, if Vlad flattens against the wall, can Alex get past him?
Yes. A 5 foot wide zone, you can push past each other.
Odds is going to be
Either cut him out or get out of the way, one of the two.
thinking relatively quickly. Alex is going to take the I guess it was pointy end of his spear, offer it in front of him, over Diroc's shoulder so he can grab it. Slide back a little bit, leave a spot for Vlad to grab, and try and pull Dirac away from the ice.
Yep,
Well, the ice sponge.
Dirac is grabbing he's yanking on it though. He's thinking you're trying to give it to him. So
Both of you give me a strength check and see whether Dirac pulls it out of your hands or you pull Dirac out of the ice.
I'm pulling on the back. I'm pulling on the back of Alex to help him pull.
You're using the help action.
Grip on my own pole arm.
So
12.
So yeah.
Roll anything or
Full strength. See if you pull it out of my hands.
Not one. Not
Yo,
You pull it.
He pulls the halberd out of Alex's hand. What do I do with this?
Now I'm swinging it at the brown stuff that's trying to grab me.
Every time you hit it, it expands tighter on you and keeps trying to throw shards out.
Let Dirac out!
Dirac, stop hitting it. It's
Get out! I'm frantic now. I'm gonna fly into a rage in just a moment. So get out so that Dirac can get out.
Vlad will pull Alex to get him, pull him out of the way.
Gray, why don't you voice that one for our viewers?
Oh, I mentioned this upstairs previously when the small thunder battle broke out between Sylvia and Vlad. And Rumbler I'll slowly walk along the table, dragging his finger down and examining the dust. Freedom fighters to some, a messy, unpredictable rabble to others, such is the nature of evolution. Hearing basically this screaming from this, because I can't see what's going on, and I'm not going near it.
Okay, hold on. This makes it even better. Get out! Durock, stop hitting it. It's getting bigger.
Yeah.
I can just hear this chaos going on in there. What is happening? Why are you giving me? Come out! What are you doing?
Victor
Mismo,
feels pretty good about his decision to stay out here.
Eventually, Vlad definitely, possibly Alex, make their way out and just let Durock be Durock.
Yep,
Alex
Darak-
isn't going to be the
Darak's
type to
gonna
leave
yank
a
away.
man behind.
Get out so Darak can get out.
You're
Darak-
in his way.
You are in my.
already 10 feet behind.
Yeah,
Already far
alright,
enough
so
behind, 'cause you pulled
Darak's
it out
gonna
of my
try
hand.
and Darak's gonna try and pull himself out if he can.
Give me a strength roll.
Now here comes the natural
You
one.
still have that D4.
Pretty much.
Oh, yep, I do have the D4. Hold on. Roll. Oh, I'm not typing letters. Roll 1D4.
Was an 8 enough?
Depends on whether the ace is the top of the thing or not. You take you take another 22 damage from ice.
Ooh.
Ah!
Alex, pull him out.
So
and
I am almost dead
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
Vlad.
Alex is going to take the chance to pull the rope out of his pack and throw a good reel of it towards Xerox.
Yeah, throw it over him.
Throw
He'll
a
see
lasso.
that the
Throw a
rope.
lasso. Don't reel it. Just lasso him.
Well, Alex doesn't have enough time to make
Yeah,
a
don't.
proper lasso.
Yeah, just throw it over
Okay.
Darak. He'll see a
Yeah.
rope and grab that.
He throws a good wad of rope over Xerox while keeping the other end for himself.
Yep.
And
Darak's gonna
Vlad
grab it.
behind him, who is also going to pull. Vlad casts guidance on Durock once more.
Roll strength again with advantage this time, Durock.
Victor will also help roll if will help pull if there's room.
This
Okay,
time,
don't yank it out from Alex.
yeah, this time Gore manages to pull himself along the rope and stumble out with like ice burns all along his bare arms and chest from this ice that has, and behind you, the ice, the brown spongy-like material expands and almost slams the hallway closed. It just expands out like a balloon until it completely fills the hallway.
Now I understand how that one person in the Friday game died of hypothermia.
Yes, and went down here without any buddies with him.
Oh, goody.
I can't stop this
Vlad will
feeling.
pull out his fanny pack and attempt to bandage up Durock.
Well, I don't know
Alex
if
is-
bandages. Well, yeah, obviously I'll get health, but like I have ice burns. I'm gonna have like
Yeah.
is that hypothermia or no?
You were verging on hypothermia. Yes, had you gone unconscious, you would have started taking hypothermia, which is what happened to the person in the Friday game. Vlad has been studying his alchemy and has been making various salves and potions, and I would assume he would have some kind of soothing oil-based type of salve that might soothe the burns of the frost.
I'm going to use an improved bandage for this.
Okay, so totally not the door we're supposed to go down, I'm assuming, because what in God's name happened to you people?
That's total 15 healing regained.
15, so I got an additional 6.
And then I'm going to cast first level Cure Wounds on you. Because I can only use that the bandages once per short rest.
Okay.
2 so a total of 11 from that.
All right. So I guess Alex, we're probably back out in this area.
Yeah, we're gonna pull ourselves. I'm gonna intentionally, as I was waiting for everything to happen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell D-Rock to pull himself as far out of the cold area as possible, because I'm going to assume at some point in time Alex has seen someone deal with hypothermia and really wants to get him out of the cold. So yeah.
Alex and Victor, both of you give me wisdom perception rolls. You have to beat a 19.
Oh God.
Wisdom perception rolls? Isn't that just the perception roll?
It's just how it's expressed in this edition.
There's a dexterity perception roll?
Oh, that happened.
Okay. So I'm just gonna state this for the record. We both rolled doubles.
I'm reminded of D-Rock's double 24s or 26s or whatever it was for intimidation. Yeah.
I've got 24 vision.
Alex and Victor just look up in their eyes.
As you move, you luckily turn around and look into the room as you move in, and you realize that there are plants that are partially, a whole bunch of plants against the north wall that are partially like stuck in the wall, but large portions of them are vining out and reaching towards you and trying to claw at you. Roll initiative.
Only
All
those
of
two
us?
or everyone?
Everyone. I'm assuming they're going to say something about it when it happens, so...
Why me? I am all the way back there. Why me? What is up?
Victor is just kind of like
Don't worry,
looking
guys.
at
I'll
it
be
like,
there in an hour.
oh, that is very interesting. There seems to be some plants coming out of the wall, like not drawing his weapon or anything. Oh, look at that.
Now I have seen everything.
Well, a fascinating flora in the cellar. And then after everybody else attacks, he'll get around to it.
Oh, I should be killing these things.
Yeah.
So, okay, Monarch, dude, look at our initiative rolls. Can you tell me what's wrong with this?
Well, I'm a monk and I've got the alert feat. I
Yeah.
cannot
No,
be surprised.
No, but I'm just
I
saying.
sense danger.
You and
I sense
are
danger somewhere in the room.
You and
Oh,
I
no.
are nowhere near the action, and yet
Yes.
we're the first ones to go.
We're going in. We're going in. Come on, let's do this. We're going
Mark is just like, holy shit, did he just say plants?
Let's roll, everybody! We're on it!
Check your corners to throw a crossbow to you. Just do this SWAT style. Go, go, go.
Plans, I'm a city planner.
Monarch,
Oh, Lord.
Monarch immediately heard something going on, and Victor's startled jump as he realized there were plants in this area. And again, it's these large groups of plants. There are a couple of groups of the ones that have the thorns on them that look like they're corrupted rose bushes, and there's one group of the ones that throw the nettles at you. Monarch, it is your first move. You can squeeze by the group if they will let you.
I am
I'll
small
hop
enough.
on top of someone.
I am a halfling, and due to the
can't
rules,
move
I
your
can
legs.
move through all these people because they're larger than me. I can even
Just, like,
occupy the same
cartwheel
square
in.
as them.
Just crawls between their legs, just gets down on his hands and knees and goes right through.
Excuse me.
He's just saying, excuse me, I'm coming through.
As he's walking along with his trailing his finger through the dust, a bit disapprovingly, he'll suddenly look at it and then they'll just suddenly twitch as he hears the slight thing, arm clenches, and then out of nowhere he will bolt. What's it? 30 foot. I can get in the same square pretty much. He will suddenly run along, skid between Vlad's legs, do a roll between Victor's, kick off the wall, slide underneath Alexander, and standing up will suddenly do this with his hand, do this, and just point, and he will shoot a radiant sunbolt from his fingertips while yelling out, "Sovereign Star!" First I've looked up for this. And
Radiant
I will spend a key
damage.
point to cast it 2 more times and shoot each one of them once as I literally just go just a wide bolt of energy just
jeez.
shoots out like a laser to each of them in turn.
By the way, if you click the gear on your page, you can set always roll damage, and it'll automatically come up because it doesn't have the damage on that roll.
Where's it under? Always roll damage.
Yeah, Victor did not see that coming, and he just flinches when it happens.
The gear, yeah, the gear,
Where's it under, by the way?
the
The gear, yeah.
yeah, the gear after spells. Look at the word spells, Mike.
Oh, no, these are after spells. That one, I got you. After spells, always roll damage, which would be auto damage roll, don't auto roll damage, auto roll damage and crit.
Yes,
All right, I'm with you.
that way you'll automatically get it up, and you won't have to force it up. That is a hit, and you aimed at all 3 of them. Is that? Did I hear you right?
Yes, all 3 of them in turn.
Okay, so the damage total is how much? I see a 4 and a 6. Is that's 7 for it? Okay.
The damage for the first one.
Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3. All right.
The one on the left took 6 damage. The one in the middle took 7, and the last one took 4.
Okay.
From left to right. As he
If
literally
you got
just
hit, because the
so literally just appears, puts his hand up like that, just points his finger, and like a spark of like magenta pink just shoots out and hits each one of them in turn.
Are you an elemental monk? What is this?
I am a Sun Soul monk. I am basically a Dragon Ball character.
Oh my god, I was looking at that. Yeah,
I don't think I've read
not-
anything about this.
It's in one of the new books. It's in one of the new books.
That's why.
I think it's Xanathar's Guide to Everything. I was actually my friend is doing a tabaxi. We're debating on Kensei monk.
I have the Kensi monk, or the Kensi monk
He will
from Unearthed Arcana.
he will grin rather proudly to himself, but he will say, "I'll be your proof, priest. It was merely a matter of simple procedure to take one's inner spiritual energy and learn to project that very same energy."
Oh
Like
god, shut up.
Like he's getting into it. I now line my turn.
No, that's more like an ice thing. That's not a Uzi, I swear.
Oh yeah. No, it's I will end my turn. That did take a lot of time, so I will actually speak several times.
All right, Sylvia, it's your turn to shine here. Maybe against these plants that are a captive audience, more or less, you can get something done. What, plants? You allowed yourself to get stuck in a wall? You're really stupid.
At this point, she's just like, and now I've got to squeeze past all of that cluster. Okay, let's see how I get through this.
Oh, I can be part of the bit. Y'all just got shot by a halfling shooting pink beams. What is going on? Look at him.
It's the pink that really does it.
Pink is that extra effect. Sparklies.
I totally forgot how many bardic inspirations I have. No, I mean just in general. I forgot what they. So I didn't write down the stupid conversions on
Looking at
the book. I'm looking for it. Come on, where is it? Bonus action.
equal to your charisma modifier, minimum of once.
Alright, so I could at least do it 4 times. I'm not gonna jump into the fray yet, but I will look at the. I guess 4 of you would be Duroc, Vlad, Victor, and Alex, and just go, come on, look alive. You can't let this little halfling show you up your Dawnwatch. Get going in there, and I'll just give you all bardic inspiration.
You can only do one at a time.
I can only do one at a time. I can't just do it as a group. Got it. Crap. All right.
Which one?
Oh.
I'll give it to Alex. I'll throw it at Alex first, since he's going up next.
Yeah, he's probably going in before me anyway, as well.
Yeah, there's a small problem Alex is gonna have to deal with in a second.
Oh no, I think I already know. It's the halberd. Derek would have thrown it back after he grabbed the rope, so
Also,
you should have grabbed.
your bardic inspiration is a D8 now instead of a D6.
Yeah,
Level
it
5.
is.
Also,
Yeah,
I forgot about.
I know the upgrade. I just didn't remember how many I could throw at a time because I don't have it written down someplace, which I should.
Very good. Okay, so
I'm
he'll
inspired.
yeah, and he can add a D8 on his attack and hit, or
Check, attack roll, or saving throw.
I think I basically just get one free D8 that I can throw wherever the hell I want.
Except for damage, yeah.
Yeah.
Reasonably speaking.
all right, Alexander, you are up.
Okay, so I'm gonna reach back behind me over Victor, or vaguely over Victor's shoulder, and Dirok, knowing exactly what I mean by this, for once actually connecting with what I mean, is going to hand me over my spear.
Yep.
I can
do
assume
it.
that's cool.
Yep. There it is.
Thank you. Going to pull it in front of me. I assume it's not going to take a standard action to do that. Maybe a minor.
You did that while Victor was yelling that there were plants. You're fine.
10 feet. Actually, from here, I can stab at them.
You could have used your movement and you would still be fine.
Yeah. I'm thinking I do want to move up a little bit further, though. Wait
I'm
a
just gonna.
second. I gotta check the ruling on the wording on something super quick. I totally forgot about this.
Also, I'm just gonna throw it out there for like metagaming pitches style. If you move out of the hallway, more people can get into the room.
Oh no, I was thinking about that. I had something else I wanted to do. Okay, cool. So Alex is going to take a quick step up. What is this thing in the middle of the room? Is that like
It's
a wine
a
rack?
rack of bottles.
Yes, it's it's like head tall wine rack that's about half filled with bottles. So no, you wouldn't be able to stab through. Although there are some empty holes in it, it would be very inconvenient to do so.
Yeah, I was
There
gonna
is
say,
actually a
I'm
bottle of
gonna
wine with a
make it
hole
work,
straight
but-
through it where I shot through,
Yeah.
which is radiant damage, by the way, which I thought would be fun in this setting.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
super
totally fun. Totally fun. I'm so
Yeah,
glad you're right next to Victor.
Am I able to attack this creature right here? I'm trying to do the long ping. I can't.
you're on the wrong
This creature
one.
right
There you
here
go.
without without offering him cover, basically.
You would be able to use your halberd with half cover.
From where I'm standing specifically. Damn.
Yeah, from
I
where
mean, even
mo-
without that, you could. Sorry.
you can move one step sideways and you wouldn't have a problem with a rack in your way.
That's what I was.
I'm
That's
trying
what I
to
was about to
maintain
say.
within 5 feet of the two people next to me.
Just well,
Okay,
Whatever.
so
Half step
what
this
you-
way.
what
Just
you can
wait.
do, you can step out, stab, and step back into the 5
I
feet.
forgot I can do that. I still am thinking of. I got my brain.
We're not
all
in
backwards.
3 anymore, Toto.
Or in 4E, which makes a specific thing for that. So yeah, I'm gonna step out far enough, I assume, and I'm going to stab at thee. It's a left-handed stab, so it doesn't do a very good job of it.
Gotta learn.
Alex, what with his practice at this, is gonna stab again.
both of them miss.
Roll a 9. Yeah, and then a 3. Alex is trying to work left-handed here with the still frosted shaft of his weapon, and it's frankly a little difficult. So yeah, Alex is gonna keep himself in a advantageous position next to this little support pillar here. I'm trying to defend those who are behind me.
Very good, and you certainly are in a position to interpose if needed. And it is Vlad's turn.
Vlad is going to kind of push past Victor, take a second to see where everyone is. He will then run up and put his back to this wine rack, blocking these creatures' view from him, and cast where is it? Sacred Flame, which ignores cover.
Okay.
Let's hope we don't
DC
burn anything.
15, and they're frozen in place.
Yeah, they'll have disadvantage on their decks.
I'm casting it on the one on the nettle group.
And they failed it totally. So 7 damage on it.
Laser clerics. Woo! Laser party.
So yeah, Vlad runs into this room, puts his back to the wall, and then a burning burning white light flashes down from the ceiling.
Okay.
He looks straight at Rumbelow and says, "That is what I do. I don't even have to look."
Sounds like the Legolas and Gimli in their argument over who's
counts as one.
Took me ages to be able to do that in my hands, man. Like, so many years. Pray
Dirok,
to a god, just get a beam.
Dirok, are you going to get into this one-upmanship battle?
Yes. Derek is upset, very upset that something happened that he didn't expect to happen. He doesn't know that it was Vlad's fault that the thing happened to begin with. He grabs his battle axe.
Vlad,
He
maybe
is
it's a
gonna
good
charge.
thing he doesn't know. You woke him up and then you proceeded to freeze him. He might just
Yeah,
put that
that
fist in your face.
You woke me up.
One of those was an accident.
Well, no, 2 of them were both on purpose. You tried to do the thunder thing, and then you tried to, and then
Yeah,
you
but the thunder
doused
thing
me
didn't
with water.
actually do anything to you.
No, it didn't.
So there you go.
But yeah, you tried to force me to wake up. Then you tried to kill me with some sponges. But yeah, so Derek's upset. He charges in, and he's gonna start swinging his battle axe. While enraged, he rages as he's running up. And that one misses. That one, I'm assuming, does not miss.
Second
Oh wait,
one,
hold on. They're frozen. So do I have advantage or no?
yes, as well. You don't know. They're not frozen. That kind of thing. They've like got their roots stuck in the wall, but they can move from side to side. They are they are just like restricted. They're not frozen in place.
Okay. So I'm assuming the first one missed, but the second one did not.
The second one hit. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And so I swung my battle axe twice, and that ends my turn.
I got a dog.
The glorious life of the barbarian. Always fun.
One of the corrupted rosebush things withers between the various attacks. One of them crumbles to the floor, and only 4 of them are left. The thing with the rose thorns on it in the middle moves enough sideways that it can get an aim at Dirok and slings those nettles. $18 hits, correct? Yes. 18 hits, you take 4 piercing damage and 7 acid damage. 11 damage.
Well, all right. So hold on. I take 4, which is 2,
Total of 11.
and then 7, which
Acid.
is 3.
Yes.
Oh, hold on.
Or you can just
Hold
say
on,
11 cut in half.
Either way, it's gonna be 5.
In response,
Christ.
Alexander pokes him. I assume he has some sort of cover through this. Like it's not really reasonable for me to actually lash out at it.
Right,
But
you're
I'm gonna take the roll anyway.
you okay, so yeah,
I
you're
would assume it would be full cover, which would not help me at all. I wouldn't have made it anyway.
right. And you wouldn't have been able to hit that one. You might have been able to hit the one on the left, but not the one that attacked him. However, the one on the left and the one on the right, like you see growth occurring on the thing, and it begins to slowly move away from the wall. It's like it's growing away from the wall. extending its roots as it moves, but it's moving very slowly because it's connected to the wall and has to actually grow itself away from the wall. Meanwhile, the thing that is near Dirok on the left does do an attack, and it claws at him.
Round the right side, round the right side.
17 is a hit. 9 piercing damage.
I was about to say, like, between frost, acid, like, I think the irony of the thing is at the end of this, Dirk's skin's actually baby smooth. Like, it's like really
Yeah.
harsh treatment, but it comes out really well. Like he looks 10 years younger.
Now the ultimate elemental.
Oh god.
Victor, you've got some very mean plants down here. What are you going to do with them?
So Victor does not much like this crossfire. So he's going to kind of get away from it and move around to the side and go stab this one that's on the move with a flame blade.
Flame shovel.
No, it actually like creates a blade. I mean, I suppose you could RP it to
No,
be
he's
its own
got
thing.
like he's got like a great sword made out of fire.
Oh, Vasily, I don't like that. That could break them out of the ice.
You were able to strike the front part of it, and the roots are still embedded in that rime-covered wall behind. But you did do 8 damage to the creatures there, and one of them is almost down. The other 4 look like they're pretty hardy. Monarch, we're back to you.
Was that a ranged attack from Victor, by the way?
I think it counts as melee.
Yeah, I guesstimate I consider him in melee range. If he had enough movement to get within melee range, so I'm assuming he's within 5 feet, whatever it shows on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want to shoot, but I also don't want to catch you in the crossfire.
Yeah, please
okay.
don't.
He'd
Yeah.
probably be just
Yeah,
a little bit closer to it like that.
How tall's the wine rack?
Head height.
Head high
Oh, for them.
for medium creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be above your head.
Acrobatics check
Yeah, you'd
to,
have-
climber
you'd-
on top.
Yes.
You're in over your head.
I'll move up to here then. I'll attempt an acrobatics check to.
Considering who you are, yes, you can do that. You are able to he just like climbs up the cubby holes for the wine like it's a ladder and winds up on top.
Vlad was going to brace and help toss him up, but it's not necessary.
And I've still got some more movement left. Sod it. I'm gonna go.
And there's
down
a
on
flying halfling leaps off of the.
And I'm gonna try and land with alright, first attack.
That's a hit.
Leads with a kick. I get a free attack for martial artist. And then as my second attack, I'm gonna hit him again.
So a total
At least you
of
just land.
14 damage.
He lands with a kick, stands up, and then he has one hand behind his back and only seems to fight with these 2 fingers as he smacks it in the joints on its legs. Just goes for the knees. Or passes for knees, basically.
One of them disintegrates as you kick it and punch it. It splinters fly in all directions, and one of them is no longer there. There's just all that remains of it is some dangling roots stuck in the wall. Sylvia.
And as someone who's asking about just character descriptions and art already made for it and whatnot. Let's see, where's my no, there it goes. So I got I'll move about here, squeezing in right there. Trying to figure this out. Yeah, that would work. I'm trying to do something, but I have a funny feeling I'm gonna accidentally destroy some of those casks of ale. Oops. Oh well, if they fix all their stuff, they can just make more.
Yeah, the roots did it.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I'm just going to use shatter starting from like around here. It's got like a 10-foot radius, so it should be able to hit all three.
Yeah, if you put it right in the middle, it would.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot I could actually increase the level of this thing. Yes, I'll actually make it at level 3. As soon as I can find the right screen to go click on, there we go.
Constitution save on all 3 of them. Okay, so 1 on the left. Rolled a 19, 1 on the far right. Also rolled a 19, interesting, and the one in the middle.
Damn your numbers.
Not the dubs.
Well, at least I take half the damage, and I rolled pretty high on the damage to begin with.
Yeah.
There, finally. The one in the middle rolled 17. So they all did a save, but they all took 3 damage.
That's all. That's the spell. That's the additional damage done by the spell at a higher level. It's 14. That's the main damage they took.
Oh, okay. So they would take 7.
So the whole. So it'd be total. It would be 20 total. So I guess they would
10.
take 10 each.
Ah, cool. I need to learn how to do that.
Uh-huh.
I command at some point. Because I can get burning hands later on, and I do not understand how casting at high level works.
It just for most of the stuff casting at higher levels is pretty much just adding an extra like 1d8 or 1d4 whatever damage is.
If you have dragged the spell out of the composium or whatever the thing's called, the compendium, it will automatically put the higher level, and it will ask you when you throw a spell at what level you wish to cast it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Roll 20 is pretty sweet like that.
Yeah, it automates a whole bunch of things out of the compendium. Otherwise, you'll have to calculate it on your own if you typed it in. Okay, so all of those guys all took 10, and you see a couple more of the things fall by the wayside in the process of doing that, and it is Alexander's turn.
Okay, so things are working out pretty well for us. There's enough room between me, J-Rock, and Sylvia for me to get a stab through there, I take it?
I'm not
Yeah,
ahead of you, so you should be fine.
yeah, if Duroc kind of slides to the side, yeah, you can do it.
I keep forgetting that I need to make room. I take up all the space. Nope, you can't come in. Sorry.
It's
My
like
area.
It's like playing WoW. No, you can't run through me. What the hell? Get my immersion.
That is, and you're aiming at the one on the left? That's a miss.
Yes. This isn't a dire situation. Actually, yes, it is. I'm gonna roll my extra D8 to see if I can actually make that into a hit. Would have done that either way, actually.
It's good. It's good damage.
5 takes it up to a 16.
Okay, that would hit.
Right. So, inspired by the encouraging words from the person who hates him oh so much, Alex actually manages to make a swing connect. And tries again. And so can't do it.
3 of those creatures are down. One of them looks like it's probably not going to be doing much fighting. It's in pretty bad shape. So you're down to only a few of them. Actually, I guess it's 2 of them down. Yes, 2 of them are down. 1 almost down, in effect down. There's 3 of them left. Vlad.
Hit him with the shafts. Okay. Which one is still strongest?
Oops, sorry.
The group
Like,
in
which one's most-
the group in the middle with the stinging nettles has the most help. The 2 rose bushes look like they're pretty beat up.
Rinse and repeat. Sacred flame. DC 15. 9 damage.
Oh, it failed. Oh, it didn't even have to have the disadvantage. Yeah, it definitely failed. It nat one. And so it takes
Black.
9 damage, and in the process of flinching away from the pain of the sacred flame, it manages to run into the rose bush and knock a few more branches off. Took a total of 10 damage.
Vlad then turns to Dirok and says, Dirok, don't worry, you'll be fine.
Direct doesn't.
7, so
raging.
10. You don't have to understand, you just have to hear.
He's just screaming.
What?
You'll
What?
be fine. Ah.
Why you
You'll
don't
be-
make sense?
Don't
Is it
quit
7?
complaining, you'll be fine.
Okay,
So is it
Dirok,
7?
you got patched up by 7, and it's your turn to hit this thing.
All right. Yep. Derek. Yeah, he doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand words right now. He's too angry. He is going to attack the thing again. Does that kill it?
No, that doesn't kill it, but it knocks
Alright,
another
then
one
second
down.
attack. Does a 14 hit?
Yes, a 14 hits, 21. You killed one more of the things. There's only 2 of them standing.
Alright. Then, yep, that ends the turn.
And it is the thing that slings the stinging nettles. It's its turn. How many of them are left? Okay, so one of them is down, so it's 4 left. A 16 is not enough to hit, right? You're 17, yep. So it misses. And the rose bush in front of you tries to claw you with its thorns.
Clawing at me?
Yeah, you're the one in front of those 2. So it is doing it. 11 does not hit on it, but the other one claws at Victor. $14 does not hit. Okay, it is Victor's turn.
Alright, gonna swing my flame blade again.
Are you hurt?
Nope.
Oh, your health bar is down. That's why I asked.
Oh, I must have forgotten to restore it when we rested. Thanks.
And now it's
Oh, it's very heartfelt. You're hurt. Like,
10 misses.
Victor, no, you're hurt.
A 10, a 10 misses.
Alright.
and
You're
all
hurt,
the romance.
but why aren't you bleeding?
And all the romance in the universe starts with all the bad fan fiction.
Really?
Yeah, really. And he
Oh
sparkles a little bit and goes on.
As what I was about to say, we already have sparkling vampires. And
Monarch.
werewolves.
Yeah.
I would continue my war against knees.
Victor.
There you go. That's my
Remember ankle shanker?
More like knee poker.
Just smacking and just breaking my way what I can. Basically treating it like you would like in those kung fu movies when these sort of martial artist stands when they're like doing that training. But it's just
15, 19 damage on that. Another one drops. Okay, Sylvia. You've only got, each one of the rosebush groves have only 2 remaining. There are still 4 remaining in the nettle group. And Sylvia's got a chance to...
No, I'm here. Oh, I'm here. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Because it's one of those like, what are my options and how many spells do I want to use in the span of like, oh wait, I should have saved that.
Get like that with bright bards.
Yeah.
Kill it with kindness.
Kill it with kindness. Look at you, just standing there. I'm gonna pretty much focus down on the nettle thrower, which I think is that one right there.
The one in the middle, yes.
Yeah. Just look at you. You're down here. You got this frozen fungi thing on the other side of the wall, and I'm pretty sure you're kind of stuck to it. But you know what? You stuck down here. You tried to be creepy, didn't quite work, and then she's just gonna keep spewing the insults and vicious mockery.
She's just insulting this plant to death. Okay, wisdom save.
And then so wisdom save.
And they don't have a whole lot of wisdom, I have to admit. You know, they're just a plant, come on. But in spite of that, believe it or not, this plant rolled a 17.
You bitch. Sorry.
It is
But no,
obviously a lot sharper than it looks like.
bad puns. Bad puns. Yes. No, but for bonus action, she's gonna throw Healing Word at Duroc.
Very good. You, Derek, you're being
No,
patched up again.
Kind of like,
They're keeping you going. Alexander, your chance to poke him again. You need to get around by where Victor is so you can get a better shot at him.
Yeah, that would be like my entire move. Oh wow, this room's smaller than I thought. Still be a tight thing.
You could make it quite...
Just
Oh,
in
yeah.
case.
You could make it quite easily unless you want to have movement left over to get back out.
I
That's
only have
23.
25 feet of movement.
Close. I'm not measuring that close. It's roughly 30 feet. You're
Yeah, I guess I
measuring. You're measuring too close.
Armor. I could throw a shot over Victor's shoulder.
Sure.
It'd still be kind of tight. I'm gonna start by. I'm just gonna stand here and finish off this guy, and then take a swing at the nettles if I can. I've killed enough nettles last session. Oh yeah, I was last.
12 takes, almost takes another one down.
dun, dun, dun.
Oh, they're still up.
Stab it again.
Stab him. No.
And that one finishes off a fourth one. There is only one remaining.
Oh wow. So
Give him the
option
shaft.
20. That doesn't have reach.
Finish it.
Vlad,
So I would like to argue that plants are mainly water.
You can't destroy water on them.
Damn it.
Or else
Yeah.
you'd be able to use
they're-
that as a lethally killing move on all creatures.
Well,
But
this
aren't-
is only, only
aren't there-
plants or
aren't there-
water elementals.
Aren't their roots frozen right now?
their roots are frozen in the wall, like they're chained to the wall, you might say, on a long tether. And by
Oh.
growing themselves away from the wall, they can slowly move.
Okay,
Which
I,
is
I
why
thought
they
it was
have-
like I thought they were frozen, so you could use that ice to blow them up or whatever. But
No, just it's like think Plastic Man, Elastic Man, or whatever, and his arm is stuck in a manacle, but he just stretches his arm out and keeps moving towards you.
The same nettle one is what I'm targeting.
It's dear. Okay, so you're doing the Sacred Flame again on that Dex save on the nettle, and it Dex 17. It's half, or is it? No, it's all or nothing. So it misses. These things are smarter and more agile than they look like. Dirok?
all right, Darok's gonna swing again. Oh,
Which
There we go.
I
which
think it's pretty much dead because I also get it's the thing that's in front of me still.
Okay, so the rose bush, not the nettle.
Yeah, not the nettle.
That one,
I'm gonna be make. Yep. Sorry.
Excuse me. I think she said that one hit.
It is dead.
roll 20 was being slow on me, and when I clicked it again, it opened up its page instead of deleting it. But anyway, yes, that one is completely gone. You wiped it out in one hit, the last one remaining. Okie doke. Do you have any other moves, or moving up?
I'm gonna attack again. I'm just moving.
Okay,
Moving up the melee range with this guy.
very
I
good.
don't know if that affects anything, but yeah, and then we're gonna attack again.
And that's a hit.
And then that ends my turn.
Okay, and the remaining two groups of plants are going to do their attacks. The one next to Dirok is getting a little bit too close to do much slinging of its stinging nettles, so it just claws at him, and it rolls an 11, which does not hit. The ones on Victor also claw. Oh, a 4 misses and knocks 3 bottles out of the wine rack onto the floor, and they break. It is Victor's turn.
Alright. Third time's a charm.
Three.
That's definitely a hit for 14.
Nearly max damage too. Told you third time's a charm.
There is only one of those plants remaining. Monarch, can you finish it off?
I don't know. I have rolled, I think, 2 1s in every roll I've done so far when it comes to damage.
Just hope it ends up being 11. Come on.
True. All right. So, just to explain, by the way, martial arts, I get one meat on an attack, and once a turn, I can use my bonus action to get a second. That's why I'm doing 3 a turn.
Yep.
Okay, so 2 of those hit for 12 damage. The creature is still alive, but it's waving its rose bush branches very feebly at you.
So next round, Victor, you got this basically.
And Sylvia.
Back to me, of course. What in God's name am I going to do?
Throwing knife. Deck it with your loot.
I don't have any. It's been touched.
This is the way you take athletics as a bard and become a wrestler.
She'll be the best female wrestler in this group.
She already does the trash talking. She takes grapple. She is legit just a wrestler.
She already is the best female wrestler in this group.
What?
You're the only female wrestler in this group. You're the best by default.
We'll have Durock. We'll have Durock and Sylvia Hogan.
You smell what the rock is cooking?
Oh God, no.
No.
Probably a head.
Yeah, and then we had Monarch, who's a short wrestler.
Hornswoggle.
Oh god.
You
Oh,
are the
God.
you are
50
you are
short
the leprechaun.
seconds.
You are the leprechaun who is the illegitimate son of Vince McMahon.
I shoot the spirit of Ireland out my fingertip.
I think I'm going to pass on my turn only because I am at a stop loss for what to do, and getting in there is a little bit crowded. So
Okay, Alexander, what can you do? You've got a lot more room now to strike at this nettle plant.
I'm gonna shift up and take a proper swing at it. I'm having to try and stick my hole through the wood hole.
You hit it for 10 damage.
Oh, 12? Alright. Oh yeah, I mean, I'll roll again to swing. I don't think an 11 does, though. It seems a little low.
Yeah, the second.
I actually have a precision attack. I'm gonna add another d8 to it.
Okay, with that you hit, so you did a total of 23 damage to it.
Yep.
There are, there's about two, let's see. There's about 2.5 of those plants left.
So we're
I-
currently gearing up for a short rest party.
Well, I just so far I've only blown one.
No, I mean
I was actually-
we have a monk, we have a battle master, we have a barbarian, all of which gets their resources back after a short rest.
Yeah.
So does an elf.
That's the 1 hour of sleep and night party.
So does an elf.
though. But I'm only half though. I don't
Oh, yeah, that doesn't count. I thought you were full elf.
No, I'm only half sis.
Okay, Vlad, are you going to?
I actually have one more thing on my turn.
Oh,
One
okay.
more thing on my turn. I can actually roll my backhand now, which I'm close enough to do, but apparently I get caught on the balls.
You bashed your gauntlet into a bottle. Give me a dex save
Tink, 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 tink.
with that nat 1.
There they are. Oh wow.
It actually cut through the gauntlet's metal. You actually take 1 damage from broken glass.
Ouch.
You take 1 glass damage. Damage from Shane.
Piercing damage. Okay, Vlad, your dex save. Let's see, and that was on a nettle.
1 pride damage. No, that was on this one over here.
Okay,
I'm up at the kill steal.
it would be the same difference on their roll, so it'd be and they rolled identical. I rolled again, but it was identically the same roll. So it failed, the group failed and took 12 damage. Was that enough? I think it was. It is gone.
So as Rumbelow is saying to Victor, "You've got this. Finish him off." Just a beam of holy fire comes down.
Just-
Oh, that was
You just-
evaporate.
Yeah, just
Stoic than I am.
just like you can just like, Victor, you've got it, and then just like in front of him, this beam of light goes right down in front of him.
Just barely enough time for you to pull your fingers back as you're trying to take out their knee.
Dirok,
Rock's swinging his axe again.
Swing that axe.
Choppy choppy.
that's a miss.
11. And swing again.
That one
He's
hits.
just yelling out incoherently this entire time. You guys having your fun little quips and whatnot.
Do what you love. Do what you love.
There are only
I would,
two.
I just don't want to hurt people's ears on the stream.
There are only 2 of those plants left. You did in the one that was half dead. It's gone, and now what remains is only the nettle plants, and it proceeds to rear back and try to claw you. A 21 hits. It is not a crit, but it does hit. Only one of the plants hit for 7 piercing damage. Victor. You guys have almost got this.
Victor's gonna move in. He's gonna kind of stay wide of Monarch, and he is going to he's gonna swing again with the flame blade.
By now, I picture this poor wine rack has shattered bottles on both sides of the rack all over the place. That is a hit, yes, for 8. And Monarch.
I guess I'll. He'll stand up, level his finger, and he'll just point at this thing's back, and just shoot it in the back. I wouldn't use a risk, but I do have the lucky trait, so if I roll a 1, I can reroll.
I have pictures of some kind of Jedi or Sith thing. Now you understand. That is a hit, of course.
There you go.
That is 2. 14.
Quick, let's kill the new guy. I think his dice are loaded.
There is only one of those plants remaining. And Sylvia, doing anything this round?
God. You know, the temptation's there, but you know what? Everyone else is close enough. I'll let them have it. But actually, what I will do is I will try to save some of the bottles that haven't been broken yet from the wine rack and try to bring them into the other side of the room.
Wait! Save the bottles!
It's like, let's not destroy our future property.
Sorry.
Alexander!
Plants ran amok, they're smashing the bottles. Oh god. Just like, yelling awkwardly loud.
We are now the villains.
Oh no.
Oh no, the plants are just totally just dropping bottles everywhere.
Oh no, they're drinking them. Oh god.
Drunken plants are the worst! Alexander, what you gonna do?
There are 2 things that you want to avoid drinking at all costs. Drunk wizards and drunk plants.
So it's basically a druid.
Yeah, exactly. Drunk wizard plant. Wizard? Alex doesn't have a lot of options here. So he's gonna poke it with a stick.
That's a hit. About half of it falls away. That one it doesn't. That one you smash another bottle.
Alex is pretty sweet tonight, up and down.
That damage too, though. Sad.
Yeah, another bottle shatters and falls to the floor.
Oh god, please be careful.
Even like, I could probably actually get that high enough for precision attack, but it's still a 1. And yeah, Alex is not gonna backhand this time, but with last time it breaking his own hand.
Glad.
Vlad is going to go for the coastal again. Reach for that. Well, maybe not with that damage.
That is not the kill steal.
And
That
it
is
saved
moving
again.
at silver
It
sword.
just keeps dodging and ducking on the thing. It rolled a 17. Dirok, it's your power hit that needs to take it out. Obviously, the flame is not doing it.
I think a 14 hits, right?
Yes, it does. And it goes away. You are out of battle, and as you finish, you hear the voices of one of the men from upstairs going, "They're jumping out of the window! Grab them, quick! They got away!"
Lovely.
Durok sighs. He's like, there is no end. He's been burned and stung by these nettles, and now something's going on upstairs.
And that is where we will leave it for this night. You
I'm
hear...
just gonna start heading up the stairs though. Just for the record of
That's a pretty good ending line. Just like a half frozen, half orc, just hearing some noises upstairs and sighing.
There is something going on upstairs. Yep, There is something going on upstairs, and you recognize the Mardikovs yelling in pursuit of something or other as you sigh, thinking you are out of battle, and something's still going on. Thank you, Chris Perkins. I'm learning from you.
I think
Yeah,
what
we
this
need to
is.
stop that.
What?
No, not you.
More Mercer, less Perkins. More Mercer, less Perkins.
Granny Perkins, that's
real.
me! Ha ha ha!
Oh God.
No, I think
I
this
was-
is really just a distraction for Derek because he wants to know why that sponge just started attacking him for no reason.
Yeah,
It's
probably
probably-
light it on fire.
It's
I
probably a
would
refrigeration system.
rather-
Yeah, it's
I would
probably
rather
just
have
an
Mama
icebox.
Mercer.
After the fact, now that we are out of battle and we're OOC, basically it's a brown mold and it is mindless. It is not attacking with any thought or intelligence behind it. It reacts to attacks, and its defensive mechanism is to go into this freezing mode. It has extra damage, by the way, if it is hit with flame. None of you hit it with flame. So luckily, Dirok is still alive, which the other guy
Oh,
did attack with flame.
Ah, makes sense. Besides, we didn't want to burn it because we weren't sure if this was literally like the reason their wine's so great because it can be
I'm pretty
refrigerated
sure
unlike
it
other
is.
places. Yeah. So yeah, don't want to burn down their livelihood.
And I'm lagging.
so yeah, just to get this straight, so I'm assuming that the thing that technically attacked him would have been the vines trying to get through the wall.
Yeah, basically the vines were trying to break in and wound up freezing themselves into the wall and couldn't get in.
Okay.
Idiots.
So yeah, they wound up in a manacled situation, which meant that they couldn't come upstairs and attack upstairs, which saved you guys from an attack during the night. But that was the scratching and scrabbling that you heard during the night, was them trying to get through the walls and winding up freezing themselves.
Nice.
Very good.
So the guy in the Friday game, he just went down there by himself and poked the wall.
He went down. He had already figured out by himself. He was the only one who'd figured out there was a door there. He's a sneaky type. And she, actually, the character was she.
Yeah.
And she went down when the others were asleep, all by herself, convinced that there was loot inside that room. Went in, found this brown spongy stuff all over the walls, and the first thing she did was blasted it with fire.
And
So-
Derek just wanted to investigate the room. He didn't actually want to attack anything.
Right, and you
I
didn't.
have any. I didn't have like any like thought that like it could probably attack me. I was thinking that like it was probably like maybe a rust thing.
Could've
And
been anything,
it's-
could've been the way,
it's-
I think it's the way they got in.
It's in the category of oozes and such things, but this is just like a mold. And it's a self-defense mechanism that when it's attacked, it reacts to defend itself by becoming this massive glacier.
Like I said, it's
I
fun
ju-
guys with fun guy.
I think that lad just hates me all of a sudden.
There's a humongous fungus among us.
Do
Yeah,
you
pretty much.
though?
Yeah.
Because you don't know it was me that poured the water on you.
Oh,
You
oh,
weren't
well,
aware-
yeah.
hold on.
Actually, the water, yes, because Sylvia told me to attack you, and I decided
Yeah.
not to.
Okay, you might know the water, but you don't know about the thunder because you were asleep. It's impossible on the water. You don't know about the thunder.
Oh no, I'm
because you
talking
were
about
asleep.
Oosili. I'm not talking about Ice Sealy.
Oh no, yeah. Okay.
No, Oosili. I think you just want to try to kill me now. You, I'm not your Bay POTUS, so you are trying to get rid
Aw.
of me. Get it back.
You don't have a POTUS to stand between the two of you. This ought to be interesting. Yeah,
But it doesn't really work. Height
He who
difference.
wins the barbarian's trust earns the leadership of the group.
Well,
And-
no, technically, he's still the leader. I'm just the.
I really don't know if
The
I am.
barbarian.
I really
You
don't know if I
are.
am.
You. Even with the POTUS, you still made most of the decisions for us.
Yeah, you were kind of the one that acted quickly and so got things going a lot of times.
In
And
combat,
speaking
in
of,
combat situations, I'd say Derok or Apotus would have been the group thing.
the
but,
main
when it comes
tank,
to
but yeah.
any kind of decision or whatnot is mainly on
Yeah, the cleric was the main
Let's
action
say
brains of the thing.
Soviet's
Speaking of Apotus, Kyle is making a new intro video that we'll have eventually. He's working on it, and it'll have all 7 pictures on it, including now Monarch. So we'll be anxiously await our new intro video when he gets that done. He's kind of our technical graphics person, gets all the neat pictures done.
If he doesn't float in like a butterfly, I will be disappointed.
I
What's a butterfly?
won't lie. I literally have a list of butterfly names here, which is like what most of his moves are named after.
Gray, if you have any particular things that you want Kyle to include as part of your little sprite that is in the intro video, just send him a message and let him know what you'd like to have included in your little bouncy character, and I'm sure he'll do it. But with that, we will call it an evening. I am in the middle of the country where there is a massive teacher strike going, and I am going to be watching a bunch of grandkids tomorrow. So with parents who are trying desperately to manage, the teachers have a very good reason for being on strike. I am not upset at the teachers. I am very upset at the legislators. And I swear to God, if they are listening to this video, which I don't think they are, if there's an incumbent by your name, you are out. So anyway, I've got to be up very early tomorrow morning in order to watch grandkids. So I am going to say good night to all the viewers. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you join us next week at the same time to see what all the screaming was about upstairs and whether they survive this or Derok gets frozen in place.
I don't think he's gonna get frozen anymore. Oh, I forgot that I had my my good berries. My
Womp womp.
I don't need
pool,
good
my,
berries, whatever. We'll eat later.
my pool of 40 HP.
Well, when you start off next week, you can hand him a pile of good berries and help him get back on his feet. He's in pretty good